The news here is that there's a refocus on EV, which prioritizes the one that people actually want and minimizes the one that they're like, bro, Cybertrucks are discounted right now. What are we doing? It makes perfect sense.
It makes sense. Now, look, there's a whole other underlying thing. Like, does that put us more behind China as a country?
Sure.
Because China's just all in EV.
Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And we are sitting in a Ford Ranger today. Not that that matters to you, but that is our studio for this video. Now, Craig, the big news. What is it?
EV's dead. Yep. Hemi's back.
Let's go. That's it. So
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So if you've watched the show for a while, you know that we are not anti-EV, but we don't find them particularly entertaining. That's not what this video is about. That's just a note to let you know we don't have bias against EVs.
No.
We think there's a use case for really both of them. We just don't have a use case for EV for ourselves and where we live and what we do, so we don't really target them on the show. Not very often, because we have cold weather sometimes, we have long distances, and those are the two things they're least good at.
Right.
If you live in LA and you sit in traffic all day, get an EV. Don't idle like crap. That's
yeah,
the way
absolutely.
To do it. It's a better product for that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we've talked about our boy Tim Lasfit.
Kuniskis, Tim Kuniskis.
Thank you, Kuniskis.
Yep.
We've actually interviewed him before at the State Fair. Good dude. Pure truck guy.
Father of the Hemi.
This is the guy that said, wait. You're killing the Hemi and bringing out a Ram Rev? You know what? I'm just going to retire. I'm just going to retire. Guy mic drops, leaves. Okay?
Yeah.
So give it about 6 months later, I think it's less than that, the overseas CEO of Stellantis dealt with the consequences of sales problems. Tim's back, baby. The moment that guy left, Tim came back. So here's the deal. Let's kind of get full circle. Where we were the end of 24, we were looking at the Hemi is gone in the Ram. We now have the SST trucks, which are not bad trucks. We actually reviewed them, and
I was going to say, watch our reviews for those. Those things are actually pretty awesome in their own right.
They are.
But unlike, and look, Toyota's done the exact same thing. There's no naturally aspirated things. They're all turbo V6s.
It's the way of the world right now.
And so Ram did the exact same thing, but Ram's got to deal with Ford and Chevy more than Toyota does. And Ford and Chevy still have a naturally aspirated V8. Ram did not.
Toyota and the truck segment, let's just be out there, is a lifestyle truck. Whereas
as told by their own engineers.
No, this is them saying
this. Yeah, this is not us.
Sorry, that wasn't a jab.
That's not a jab,
The big three, Ford, GM, the GM twins, and Ram, those are work trucks.
Right.
As much as they're lifestyle trucks. And I like to say, Ram, with their consumer grade stuff, leans a little lifestyle compared to Ford and Chevy. You know, the Ram boxes and that kind of stuff. They have some features that aren't prioritizing. Like the Ram is not some towing monster. Right?
Well, not the half tons. None of the half tons.
Sorry, that's what I mean. The Ram 5.7 Hemi e-torque is not some towing monster.
Sure.
Whereas Ford has been doing the EcoBoost, which is a towing monster. And so now you've got a problem where Ram is all of a sudden, they didn't just go, hey, we're going to give you the option for Hemi and SST, like Ford does with the EcoBoost and Coyote.
Yep. And like GM does with
the diesel inline six and the 5362.
And the turbo four-cylinder.
Yep. So Ram does not have a diversified portfolio. Right. Dude, they've been on a bender for about a decade. They've been partying every night. They've been doing burnouts in the parking lot, and they've been waking up in someone's house they don't know. They blew through their cafe credits.
Yep.
They blew through Tesla's cafe credits.
Yes.
And now they literally cannot make the Hemi.
Right.
So here comes a administration change. Nothing's been done as of January 25th when we're filming this, but there's been a lot of EPA discussions. If EPA gets tapered back a little bit and the CAFE standards get extended a little bit, Hemi can still exist.
Potentially.
Right? Potentially.
Yes.
Okay, so that goes to the end of this. Ram, the Rev, they're happy about that, or they're excited about that.
And explain the Rev, because there's some branding confusion, even for us who watch this news all the time. The Rev is the Ram electric vehicle, or their BEV.
Their BEV.
It's the BEV. The Rev's the BEV,
Rev's
which is
the BEV.
really weird. That's their battery-only truck.
Like a Ford Lightning.
Like a Ford Lightning, yes.
So Ram's hat trick was, not only are we going to Lightning you, we're going to give you a long-range version of that.
Yes.
Which will go 500 miles on EV only. Right. Then the third version was the Ramcharger.
Yes.
Which is the standard range battery, but with a gas generator on board, kind of like a Chevy Volt or Bolt or i3 BMW.
Right.
So there's no mechanical link between the ICE motor and the wheels. They're still electric motors, but the ICE motor is charging that battery, so your range extension goes super high.
Right.
To like 800 miles or 700 miles or something stupid like that.
Something stupid, yeah.
So anyways, the story now, and this is all coming from, I'm looking at Mopar Insiders. This is one of the sites that is Mopar only. And these
if you're a Mopar, that's the news, like the big media outlets cite Mopar.
Yeah, exactly. Correspondence between Tim and the current Stellantis or Ram administration.
There's been some leaked emails.
There's been leaked emails on suppliers saying,
Yes.
cease all development or production of the extended range battery for the Rev.
Yes.
Which tells you the Rev extended range is dead in the water. It's not happening.
For now, it's dead in the water. Yes.
What are we left with?
Well, and let's back up. So that also, which is funny because originally when Ram announced the Rev and the Ramcharger,
Right.
it was announced that we'll get the electric-only version first,
Right.
and then at some point we'll get the Ramcharger.
Right.
Well, let's just be honest. Everybody was more excited about the Ramcharger
Yeah, absolutely.
versus the BEV.
Well, let's be honest too. The Ford Lightning exists. That product is in the space already.
So now what's happened is they've completely canceled the 500-mile version
of the BEV.
of the BEV.
Right.
Yes,
So-
and that 500-mile version had a 229 kilowatt battery,
Which is huge.
versus the standard range 168 kilowatt battery, which still allegedly will get 300 and something miles. Allegedly, that battery alone is going to cost $26,000. So I think there's a lot of reasons why this battery, at least for now, not happening.
The demand for as Cybertrucks can show you, the demand for a $120,000 or $110,000 electric truck just isn't there.
It's
just not.
Yeah.
So we're in a world now that we've all learned there's been a big push on EV from both administrations, multiple governments across the world, and also producers. The demand for EV from the EV geeks has been met, right? It's like saying you made Hellcats, and all of a sudden you tried to make 4 million Hellcats, but only 200,000 sold because only 200,000 people wanted to spend money on it.
Right.
That corner has been handled.
The early adopters I've got them, and they're done.
And they'll rotate, but they're not like actively pursuing I've got to have this one, right? That's not happening.
Right.
So anyway, so what we're seeing is a reduction in the EV production for Ram. That's the headline.
So let's recap. So where we're at on the Rev and the Ramcharger. So what that means now, instead of it being prioritized first,
Right.
it is now pushed back, and they're going to also prioritize the Ramcharger ahead of the BEV.
Right.
So not only is the
Right.
long range gone, we're also not going to see the battery electric version first. Hey, basically Tim's saying, we'll deal with that later.
Right.
Ramcharger first.
Right.
With the 690 mile range. That thing's awesome. We were excited to see that onboard generator, all the things you already said.
I'm actually
That's
more
coming
excited.
first. I'm way more excited about that.
Well, look, because if they come in and go, we came out 2 years after Lightning, and here's our version. Cool, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
They come out with a Ramcharger. That's more Ram dodgy of them to go, hey, look what I got.
That's a little more slap the on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
what,
exactly.
that's the party side of Ram. Look,
Yeah.
that's going to be something the segment does not have
And needs.
and needs.
Trucks
Absolutely.
have room for all this stuff.
So I'm very excited about that. And look, this is a Kuniskis, right out of the Kuniskis playbook.
Yeah.
What Kuniskis does, he goes, hey, what do people get excited about? Let's give them that.
Yeah, just
and that's
give
what he's
people
done.
what they want.
So that's the hybrid EV news. But
Yeah.
you're right. There's more. Go
Okay,
ahead.
and as a fire-breathing, gas-burning, exploding, red-blooded American, I'm excited about the Ramcharger
Yes.
because the drawbacks on an EV Lightning, because the Lightning's fast. We have unofficially run those against Ram TRXs and beat them every single time. Consistently. The problem is, gas trucks also have bad range sometimes too. The recharge time on a level 2 at your house is about 16 hours.
Yes.
Okay. So there's some days where you're like, as soon as you get home, you gotta plug that thing in.
Yeah.
So the Ramcharger I'm excited about because you go, oh wait,
Yes.
what are EVs not good at? Range
Right.
/ refilling their fuel source, whatever that
Yes.
source may be. And once you start to tow with them, range drops. So when you put a basically small nuke under the hood that uses a little bit of gas, all of a sudden it works, right? And so when you are not needing the range or you're not needing the extra, I'm drawing a bunch of demand, you can just use it as an EV. So it does give you all good things.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about that because also there's going to be some onboard generator type capabilities, kind of like the Ford Pro Power does.
Yes.
And so that's going to be a really interesting truck. The range thing's gone. Overlanding, probably
Let's go.
win.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about that, yeah.
The news here is that there's a refocus on EV, which prioritizes the one that people actually want and minimizes the one that they're like, bro, Cybertrucks are discounted right now. What are we doing? It makes perfect sense.
It makes sense. Now, look, there's a whole other underlying thing. Does that put us more behind China as a country?
Sure.
Because China's just all in EV? I don't know.
That's a separate video. That's a good point. But in the American market, Tim's good at giving people what they want. That's what they want. They also want their Hemi back, bro.
Yes.
The 570 torque is dead in the Ram. We've covered this. It exists in the Durango still, and then some Jeep 392s. But those are low volume vehicles. Compared to the Ram.
Correct.
And so basically, Stellantis is walking the line of how many of these can we technically still make with current standards. Now, get back to the administration change. This is not political. We're not getting into that.
Not trying to get into that.
But if EPA is adjusting its CAFE standards, I can tell you right now, brands are going to adjust what they have.
Yeah.
So just like Stellantis has said, hey, quit working on those EV battery suppliers, It's also reached out to its suppliers for the 5.7 Hemi for materials.
Yes, Brian, I've got a headline on the actual. This is from the Autotopian. If you're not checking that blog out, it's one of the best car blogs out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, this industry sources contacted them with an email coming from upstream titled, here's the titled email that they have. STLA, we'll get into that in a second, STLA DT 5.7 liter Hemi reintroduction for 2026 MY. STLA is the platform for the new Ram.
Yes, exactly.
So what they're referencing the new platform and the Hemi reintroduction into 2026 MY model year. So I don't know. Look, a 2026 model year, Brian, would be unbelievably tight.
Yeah.
What we're speculating from that timeline, obviously, is that the Hemi's coming back, maybe?
Yeah. Well, so the guts of this email basically tell suppliers to get ready to reproduce 5.7 architecture parts.
It's basically a heads up, we want to do this.
Yes. So, and it's a very convenient thing to leak that email, which I'm happy.
I don't know that it was leaked.
Yeah. All right, so what Tim has said about this is that he has not answered this question saying, we're not doing that. All he has said is, if I wanted to do it tomorrow, I couldn't. And the reason why is because the new STLA platform Ram is wired for the inline sixes, which is a completely different engine management system.
Parts and suppliers, it affects so many things.
Right, but he said electronically in particular. Not that we can't do it or that we're not working on it.
Right.
He just can't flip a switch and do it tomorrow. That's literally all he said, and he left it that open-ended.
Yeah.
This guy loves the Hemi. If I had to bet, Craig, and go to Vegas and put money down, that thing's coming back. And I bet it comes back by 26. What I would like to see Ram do is keep the SST as an option, just like Ford does with the... Are you on board with that?
Yes. Yeah, that's the smarter playbook. That's what everyone else is doing.
Exactly, because I'll be honest, the SST is a good motor.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't have longevity verification. We haven't had it. No one's had one for 20 years yet. But let's be honest, the Hemi isn't like the most reliable thing on the planet either. So it's probably in the mix.
If they only sell 10% of their models as Hemis, cool. At least if people are happy, it's an option.
Just like with Ford and the 3.5 EcoBoost, 2.7 EcoBoost, and 5-liter Coyote, the Coyote's the lowest volume out of all of them.
And that's what's so funny about it. And that's why it's so shocking Ram didn't put it in there. I think they just, I don't know, they missed Kuniskis, what happened.
Yeah.
Because what buyers do is they'll go in, and now Ram's back on their list because there's a Hemi available.
Yes.
They go into the dealer, they drive the SST, there's not a Hemi available on the lot.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, well, I'll take the SST, it's fine.
And they go, oh, it's pretty good.
So just because the Hemi was an option, now all of a sudden they're buying SSTs. It'll actually help SST sales.
The problem is they're losing sales before they get on the lot.
Exactly.
Right? So they're driving by dealer row in their town and they're going, Chevy still has a V8, I want to drive that. Or Ford still has a V8, I want to drive, even though they're going to end up in a 2.7 EcoBoost Ford.
I was going to say, that's exactly how people buy 2.7 EcoBoost. That's exactly,
Okay, that's really the news with that. There's one more nugget I think we need to get into. The 2024, Craig, was the year of what?
The midsize.
The year of the midsize. Stellantis confirms midsize pickup production at the Belvedere plant in Ohio starting in 2027. So this is leaked from the unions that work there.
Yep.
God, I love the auto unions. UAW is the best about telling us exactly what's going to happen next before the brands get to it. And it's confirmed plans to manufacture the new midsize pickup at Belvedere Assembly Plant in Illinois, not Ohio.
This is also on the heels. This also all came out right at the exact same time. Kuniskis was quoted as saying,
I want a midsize truck.
Really want a midsize truck in the Ram segments or the Ram brand. So, you know, the Gladiator originally, there was a lot of debate, and you look at old documents and news reports.
Yeah.
It was kind of supposed to be a Dakota.
Yes.
And then last minute it turned into the Gladiator.
Right.
And we've documented a bunch on this channel. They can't sell a Gladiator for some reason.
Is the lowest number product in the midsize segment.
They sold 9,000 in Q3.
And I'll just put it out there. That's the one I would buy for myself today.
Me too.
Hands down.
The looks get people.
The proportions are off for people. Everyone that sees one goes, oh, it's kind of weird. They want it to be in a regular cab, but then they don't want to buy a regular cab. This four-door crew cab has more rear seat room than anything else in the segment. It's a great product. In fact, there's a very high likelihood I own one again for myself outside the show. One day, if I ever just I'm made of money, I'll have another one. But they can make a good midsize.
Yeah, no, and Kuniskis wants it. He's literally quoted as saying, I want to take the fight to Tacoma and Ranger.
Yes.
And which we're excited about because we love midsize trucks for so many reasons.
Probably a Pentastar and probably a ZF8.
Well, look, here's what's going to happen. Look, I'm tired of seeing the speculation of, there's a Rampage in other markets, it's just going to be that. No, that's a front-wheel drive biased Maverick fighter. Right. He's not talking about that. The UAW is not talking about that.
Nope,
this is going to be what the Gladiator originally was going to be. It's going to be basically a Gladiator underneath, except probably not solid axle up front.
Right.
And then, so you're basically getting, but it's just going to look what people expect it to look like. And so they'll probably sell them.
Yeah. And we'll probably definitely see that on this show.
And I would speculate this.
We might own one too.
Engine options, I would be excited to see, and I would look to see this. I would look to see the Pentastar, and then the four-cylinder turbo, yes.
Definitely.
The whatever based on the Hurricane, what don't they call
That's
that
in
one?
Wranglers too.
Yeah.
And it's also all the 4xEs have it, the Cherokees and all that stuff have it too. And look, I've driven that motor. It was a rental car with 80,000 miles, which tells you everything you need to know. And it was noisy. It had a lot of lifter noise going on. And it got like 28 miles a gallon out of a bread box Jeep. I went, man, this thing's got results. So, you know, in a non-rental car version, it's probably a pretty good setup.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Look, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. All that being said, I did see a Rampage the other day in the public because in Mexico they sell those things.
Yes.
And every once in a while, someone comes to visit family here. We're 9 hours or 8 hours from the border, but someone's driven it to DFW, and it catches my eye every time. I see one like once a month.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, Craig would own that. No question. Craig loves some underdog cars. That's his jam. Anyways, all being covered, Tim comes back.
Yep.
The focus on engineering and production on EV gets slightly reduced and refocused. The Hemi focus on coming back is definitely on the radar, and in his eye, I promise you. And confirmed, the midsize truck is coming for 27.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is pretty exciting. I love it. And as truck guys, look, we couldn't be happier.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're also excited for the Ramcharger because it'll work better than other EV trucks. All being covered. If you have any questions, let us know. And if you think we're wrong, I'm sure you do, you'll also let us know. And do us a favor and like this video.
All right.
See you next time.
See you.